Hello and welcome back to Tommy's Top Picks Weekly Roundup Podcast, episode 137. I'm your host Tommy, joined by John.
How's it going?
Tired.
Yep,
Good,
me too.
but good.
That's
It's Labor
good.
Day weekend. It's early Sunday morning, and the
It is.
podcast is going up super early because I have a wedding to go to today. So,
Yeah, you really jammed it in this weekend.
we're making it happen.
Yeah.
We're making it happen. Can't miss a week of the podcast. But we have a bunch of things to talk about. We got some cool Japanese art of first couple sets of Fab Heroes, which is super cool. And then we got a bunch of Duskmourn cards to talk about and how horrific they are.
Yeah.
Seems pretty cool to me.
Yeah. I'm actually more hyped than I thought I would be. I was kind of on the set, and now I'm like, ooh, these are really cool.
Yeah, no, I'm very excited and looking forward to drafting it. Stopped drafting Bloomborough. Gave up on myself on that, or gave myself a break from that. It's crazy. It's a weird set. It is so.
Yeah.
It's a shame because it's so well designed, and it's a great. I think it's still a great set to learn how to draft because it's kind of on rails. Like you
Yeah.
pick your animals, and then you have two animals that sometimes have synergy, so sometimes you grab some of the others.
Right.
But the on the play matters so much that you can have a good deck, like a great deck,
And just lose.
and just
Yeah.
go 1-3 because
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
They don't always hit on every format. Clearly Limited was not the win on this one.
no, and
I mean, and it
that's a whole
feels
nother topic.
appropriate, like the way they did it. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
The whole other topic is Commander ruining other formats, but
Okay, well, you can say that, but no, it isn't. that is kind of where I was going with it. It's like this was clearly designed Commander first as a tribal set, not Limited first, which they do for almost every other set. So you can have a break.
Yeah,
it doesn't always have to be a good Limited set.
Yeah, and one of the developers did come out and say that Crystallis in MH3 was a mistake.
What was?
For Limited, Crystallis. That red-green Eldrazi makes.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that is overpowered. Yeah. For its rarity, at least, it should
exactly, and that its rarity is the problem, not its effect.
Yeah.
It basically just disproportionately increases the amount of cruel decks.
Yeah,
and how
it's a super ramper too, so it's just super valuable.
Yeah.
Did you want to talk about what we played this week at all?
Yeah, we can talk. I did not play much besides Arena because the World of Warcraft expansion dropped.
Oh, snap.
So my limited free time went to that. So, and this is not a World of Warcraft podcast.
That's fair. Similarly, I played Outlaws a lot this week. I did get to play some, which I'll talk about in a second, Commander. But Outlaws, just for anyone who was listening last week, is amazing. It's very, very good if you like single-player Star Wars stuff. I think it's only good if you like stealth games and you like Star Wars. If you don't like either of those things, this is not the game for you, because there's definitely yeah, I was gonna say, if you like both those things, then it's a very good game. You feel like you're Han Solo coming up from being a street rat, basically.
That's cool.
They did such a good job capturing like you're a nobody and you have to navigate the gangs and you have to do all this stuff, and it's very story driven. It's like the other recent Star Wars games that has similar mechanics and engine and everything. Works fine on PC. I know a lot of people have hit bugs on, I think, PS or something, but on PC it works perfectly. I haven't had a single issue.
Nice.
But yeah, very fun game. I just wanted to shout that out because I have been spending too much time on that game.
Is it open world?
It's semi. So it's like there's a planet and you ride around on your speeder. Yeah. It's a game that awards exploration, right?
Is it like a World of Warcraft zone?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a lot like that. Yeah,
Okay.
where it's like you're in confined areas based on what you've unlocked for tools,
Yeah.
right? So there's like you need a second degree splicer to go into certain doors. You need
Yep.
a
Yep.
cutter to go through a certain wall. Things like that. So it's like does the Zelda thing where it's like until you get that, you can't go there. You know. And then but it is pretty open. Like once you're in the world, you can wander around on your speeder, you can upgrade your speeder. There's a lot of progression stuff, which that's like my favorite part. You can upgrade your ship. And then once you get on the ship, you can go to multiple planets. I think there's only 4 or 5. I'm not sure on that. I just got my ship ready to go, or rather, I just decided I'm ready to leave the planet because I just kept doing stuff on the planet, kept getting distracted and having fun.
Nice.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, this is so fun. But yeah, it's semi-open world, but it's not like open world, like go anywhere at any time. It's more like Zelda or whatever, where they lock things behind tools you haven't gotten yet.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
So,
it looks
but
like
it's fun.
it's whenever single player games come up that interest me, I always go to howlongtobeat.com because it takes
I was gonna say, what's it say?
15 and a half for the main story,
Okay.
and then 21 and a half for main story and sides, 28 and a half for a completionist. So
I
the
find
average
that
is around like
questionable.
19 and a
Yeah.
half.
Okay. Well, we'll see where I land because I think it takes like 6 hours just to get your ship fully
Yeah.
functioning, and I'm about at that point. I'll
Well, it's
look next
also
time
early,
I
like the
check
game
my
hasn't
save.
been out that long. And so this is an average of people that have recorded what they've put in.
Okay, so it's like people rushing the content to
Yeah.
get it done to
Yeah.
put this up because it just got released. Like
Exactly.
technically, I think yesterday was its release day.
Yeah, so this was not people just taking their time. This was not
Yeah,
speed runners, but close.
yeah, I get it. Yeah, yeah. Okay, well, yeah, and we'll see. I haven't made it to the other planes. Maybe they're relatively unfilled compared to the first plane. I don't know. So if that's the case, then yeah, then that sounds about right. But if they're as full as this one is, I could easily get distracted bouncing around on the planets for way too long.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
I didn't even finish this planet, which is fine because I'm not a completionist, but
Yeah.
I did most of it. I did most of it, which is also unusual for me. I
Yeah.
don't do that.
Yeah.
Anyways, this is not an Outlaws podcast.
No.
Back to what I played.
Single player games can
Oh,
sometimes get me, but it has to be a shorter game, and I have to have like a weekend for it
oh yeah.
because
I don't think this is a weekend.
yeah,
I don't think you can do this in a
yeah,
weekend. Take a couple
yeah.
at least.
But you play Commander?
I did. Yeah, I got to play. I tried. Okay, so remember a while ago you inspired me to make a discard deck, right?
Yeah.
So I made one, and I made two different types. I'm trying to figure out what my black like mono black deck is, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want to make something interesting. I like the idea of monocolor control. That was kind of where I was going after the green control. So I started to build it. I found another deck because I don't know the deck text in black very well. And so I found another deck. I played that, and I won by everyone scooping by like turn 6. I was like, and they're like, I scoop, I scoop. I'm like, what happened? Because I'm sitting here reading the cards, like I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing,
Yeah.
and they both scooped. I'm like, why? And they're like, you got rid of all of our hands.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh. I was like, well, I don't want it to be. He's like, feel good, you win. But I'm like, no, I don't feel good. I was like, I don't
It's
want decks that are oppressive. That's not
it's
what I
not
want
a
to
feel
do.
good win con.
No. And I was like, do you guys mind if I play it a second time? And they were like, yeah, go ahead. And the second time it didn't really work. I also held myself back so I could just read more cards. Because I was like, okay, I'll just not. And then one of the counters that came up because I was playing a second time is the buddy put up that Miss Bloomborough, whatever, Miss Bumble
the
Bunny.
group hug.
Yeah. Yeah, that gives a ton of cards. So we all
Kind
ended
of
up with
balanced
hands
out.
of like 30 cards, which of course discard doesn't do anything when you have that many cards. So um so it's not like unbeatable, obviously. But it does feel like it's a bit oppressive. So I don't think I'll build the way I was originally planning. So I think what I'm going to do is a white black discard / protection, So that will be the form of control, kind of leaning towards the protection side
Cool.
more. To get
Did
to
you get to play
some
that
of
bat card? The class card I sent you?
no, I don't think. Oh yeah, exactly. That no, I didn't get to play it, but yes, that was the idea. It was around the bat idea. That was originally what I wanted to do. Was the bat, the one that transforms, the Ixalan bat.
Mm-hmm.
I want because that's a discard guy.
That's a good card.
Yeah, and I have 2 copies. So, like, I just opened them. I was like, "Oh, cool. This will be the basis of it." But anyway, so end of story is I'm probably gonna do black white. Was that Orzhov or whatever?
Yeah.
Control, and then do something else for black because I don't like black control. It's too oppressive and annoying, and I don't play game like I'm not excited to play a deck that's gonna make people annoyed. Like I want to make a game that's fun. That's my goal when I make decks.
Fair.
I don't need a 100% win rate. I want a 25% win rate. That's my goal, actually.
Yeah.
1 of 4. That's my goal, is to make a 25% win rate deck that does something interesting and fun, and everyone can have a good time.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. That's what it's about.
It is for me. So, anyways, yeah, I got to play with that, and then I switched to Gish because I'm still working on Gish, and it did very, very well. It is a stupidly powerful deck. I don't remember if I won or became the Kingmaker, but I did the Dino thing. I ended up with at one point I know I had 8 or 9 dinos out, several of which were 12/12s.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't think I was fully winning at that point. Oh yeah, no, I did end up winning on that one. Yeah, it was the next game. So it was Gish against the banana deck. Did you ever play against Mike's banana deck?
No.
Oh my god, it's so funny. It's a Gruul deck. It's the weirdest Gruul deck. It's monkey themed, so he puts monkeys in there, even bad monkeys, just because they're on theme. And he gives everyone bananas. It's like one of these characters that's in the game that gives bananas as part of it.
Okay.
And the banana is a mana rock, but you also get 2 life, and it's only green and red mana. But his whole mechanic is every time someone sacrifices an artifact, I think, he gets +1, so his monkey gets big. So it was Godzilla versus King Kong, and then the other player was playing Tyranids. I was like, "Oh, this is a fight. Feels like a movie." And we all got very big creatures out, and it was very funny. But I did end up winning that one, and then he played his Mothman, which beat me because his Mothman just gets out of control. That was the one your wife beat us both with.
Nice.
Yeah, so it was fun. It was a good little Friday Night Magic this time. But yeah, I think that's all I played other than Outlaws. Yeah, I don't think I played any other Magic or card games.
Yeah, I did not. Yeah, just grinded a bunch of Magic. Still enjoying Standard on Arena, which is fun. Switching back and forth between that mono black discard and the mono red go burr. The mono red definitely reminds me of Dorinthia in a really fun way. Because you can always just threaten so much more. Like, you attacking with a 1/2 with prowess is terrifying if you have a card in open mana. Because of the different one cost
like the
pumps.
Gotcha. And that's the whole theme of it, is to pump the swings.
Yes.
Got it.
Yeah, so there's the let's see if I can find it. Yeah, like Monastery Swift Spear. That's the 1/2 haste prowess. But then there's also, where is it? No, that's not it. And then of course Slick Shot, Show Off, Flying Haste, the Bird Wizard.
Oh right, yeah.
And then Emberheart Challenger, which is a mouse. It's a 2/2 with haste and prowess, and you get to draw a card and play it if you target it with something. And then, but the activations are like Monstrous Rage. They give it at instance for 1, gives it +2 +0 until end of turn. Create a monster roll token, which gives it +1/+1 and trample.
Nice. Yeah, that's gross.
And then Might of the Meek, which gives it, which is 1, gives it +1 until end of turn if you control a mouse, and it gains trample, and you draw a card. It's a little less stealthy, but Demonic Ruckus is still a card that I really like in mono red. It's from Outlaws. It's a enchant creature. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 and has menace and trample, so it keeps your little guys attacking and not being blocked by their first 1/1 or 1/2. But when it's put into your graveyard, you draw a card.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's key.
So
because that's the red weakness is like you run out.
Yeah. So there's a lot of card draw in this, and you can also plot it for 1. So you play it on 1, and then turn 2 you play a 2-drop creature or 2 1-drop creatures with prowess, and then you drop this on it for free. Yeah.
And busted.
Yeah. And
Ready
then
bird.
There's that Valiant Mouse. Oh, what's his name?
I know which one you're talking about.
Where it gets +1/+1 the first time it's targeted each turn.
Yeah.
And then when it dies, it deals damage equal to its power.
Yeah.
Which is super fun to put that monster token on something and then run it into something. Because then it's up 3.
Yeah.
From whatever you've been building it to. I've won so many games with that just dying.
Yeah, it's like, it does feel like Dory. It's the sneak attack.
Yeah, stuff. You're going to be taking more damage than you think you're taking.
Yeah. That's or
so you can at least threaten it to make people like bluff it.
Yeah, and then people are scared. Like once they know, then they're worried. It's fun.
Yeah, it is fun. Quick games to jam.
So did draft ruin Commander? Is that what I heard earlier? Is that how you put it?
Well, no, it's just like you said, it had such promise of being Bloomburrow had such promise of being a really good draft set. But obviously I'm not a game designer, so I don't know what you do to fix it. But when you have so much synergy, and basically every deck has so much synergy, like from the end of the draft, because it's a well-designed
it's a high synergy set.
And so having how do I want to say this? Having being able to go first and then start that synergy earlier is so important. And it can literally just snowball. So
yeah, it sounds kind of boring for a limited format, but again, I think this is more designed around Commander. It's super tribal, super synergy, like we said.
Yeah, I think I was just hoping this was going to be one of the good limited sets ones, because I really like the theme.
Yeah.
And other people.
It's okay. Every other set is limited focused.
That's true. No, it's not.
It's not. Modern Horizons isn't really limited focused, although they apparently do a pretty good job with that one.
Minus Crystallis, it is a very good set.
Yeah, MH3. Well, although it did have kind of heavy-handed cards, right? So it's all fast games, you were saying. So, yeah. Well, that's fair. But yeah, point being is like, I feel like limited is commonly the focus of design, and the fact that they changed from that is not that terrible, especially considering Commander is definitely the number 1 played format.
Yes, of course.
So it's like, and they're clearly going through some evolution and experimentation on that side of things, like the whole standard rules changing, and I don't know. I feel like it's fine. It will be what it will be. They might go back to it at some point if standard picks up again, but I don't know why they spend so much brain and energy and time, space on it.
Unlimited.
If it's not the number 1 format, right? Like,
Well, I mean, that's why you have like no draft set for Assassin's Creed, no draft set for Warhammer, no draft set for Doctor Who.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the question is how many shops are still drafting?
I think a lot. All the stores in Philly are.
Yeah, I mean that's the question. Like they have to look at their numbers and
Yeah.
decide based on that. Like if it's a lot of draft and not a lot of commander, if it's a mix, if it's, obviously commanders played kitchen table, but at stores, which is what moves product, right? That's
Yeah.
what's important to them. Um,
And I also think
you,
you
they
have
got to
to,
work around that.
yeah, and just looking at the schedule, right? So you're a drafter and you go to your store every week and you draft, right? You have a new set to draft every month,
Yeah, I
which is
like
pretty
that personally
awesome.
because that was one thing I was bored with.
So that is
Was
the plus
drafting the
side.
same thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
drafting the same thing for 3 months isn't fun.
No, it gets very boring for me, at least very
Yes.
quickly.
Yeah,
Like once I learn the way I like to draft a set, I'm like, okay, solved. Like I know there's other ways, but I just like to play certain ways,
exactly.
And I don't
No, I do
I don't
too.
want to solve Red Go Burr. I
Right,
just don't. I don't care.
right. That's what I do.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. That's your jam. My jam is like,
yeah,
how do I control the situation?
yeah. But I honestly think that the biggest problem with limited right now is them figuring out play packs.
What do you mean? Like the composition of the pack?
Yeah, just or figuring out the limited environment because there's so many more rares floating around now.
Yeah. But what does that really mean?
So do you depower the rares or do you increase the power of the rares or do you make them more monocolored or more dual colored or like just figuring out the balances to make it less
So
or more.
you know limited way more than I
Mhm.
do, so maybe there's like rules of thumb around that. But for me, I've never even noticed. Like I know there's weaker rares and stronger rares at
Yes.
different sets. I only know because of selling stuff
Right.
and like certain rares are just like they just go like really fast. And some I still have sitting in the shelf and they're worth a penny.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like so for me, I always felt like the rarity thing was somewhat arbitrary. Obviously it's not like they have thought to
Well,
it and there's a design
with the
principle
thought,
around it.
yeah, I feel like there are less like they are penny cards, but in limited they are good,
Gotcha.
right? So like they are penny cards because they may not fit into a commander deck or a modern deck or aren't being played in standard.
They don't work outside of limited,
Right.
basically.
But in
Or they're
limited,
just a reprint of something that there's a billion different versions of the same sort of thing.
right.
Got it.
And then it's not so much it draft is affected by it for sure. The biggest issue is sealed.
Oh, sealed's always a terrible format, though. I've
Right.
never,
But they still use
never
it
found a good
for
sealed format.
right, but they're using it for like the arena directs and the highly and at high competitive magic events.
Oh, they use sealed?
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
Why? That's so mean.
Yeah. And
Sealed is
so
like the worst format.
yeah. And when you have such because you can get like what 1 to 4 rares in
Mm-hmm.
uh
That's a
the
massive swing. That's why sealed's terrible.
exactly. And that's why it's getting ripped to shreds in all these play booster formats. Because one person could have 6 rares, another
Yeah.
person could have 36 rares, or no,
Yeah. Yeah. That's
24.
wild.
So just a lot more choice.
I know how to solve this.
Hmm. Draft
You just
boosters.
ban sealed because it's a terrible format. It's always been a terrible format. I've never enjoyed it. I did sealed all the way back to the first D&D set. Like I did it. I was in the store for that. And it was terrible then.
Yeah.
Like, sealed is terrible. I hate that format. I hate it in Flesh and Blood. I hate it in Magic. I don't know why it's a format. It's a terrible format.
Yeah. Yeah, but like the big competitive arena opens where you can win a play box of that set for going 7-0,
Yeah. It's all sealed.
it's all sealed.
That's madness. Like
Hmm.
I guess because it's easy to administer.
There were some
You just
people,
throw packs at people.
yeah, there were some people. that were just like racked up so many that just went all in on MH3 and just won so many boxes, just forcing
Oh
their
yeah, I
brand.
heard they ran out. They
Yeah,
actually ran out of the
yeah,
prize boxes,
yeah.
which is wild.
But
So,
it's kind of fun.
some Dragon Con stuff. Got some new card reveals.
Yeah, you said this
Speaking
was
of big
Dragon Con.
events. Yeah, I think it was Dragon Con. They did a video or something like that where it was like the Duskmourn preview video or
Mm-hmm.
something. And we got a bunch of new cards. Some really cool ones. Again, more hype than I was now that I'm seeing more of these cards. I honestly was not that hyped for Duskmourn. And the more I'm seeing, the more I'm like, holy crap. Um,
Yeah, I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, you've been hyped the whole time. Like you were hyped when they first announced it. You're like, "Yes, I love that idea," and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
it'll be fine." Like I'm not against spooky, but I thought it was going to be kind of cheesy. But no, it's actually way more creepy than I thought. It's more
Yeah,
adult than I thought it would be.
yeah.
I definitely did not expect that after the Bloomburrow set to then take all these brand new minted children into Nightmare Town.
Yeah, I brought that up too.
Magic minted and terrified.
Yeah,
Next.
yeah.
Um,
But I mean, it's also the one set that my wife was like, I would play that. And I was just like,
yeah.
yeah. And that, do you know how much yes, you know how much power that has.
Oh, yeah, it's huge. And
Yeah,
it's good that they're doing that they're
yeah,
playing that game of like, how do we get the edge cases in?
yeah.
Um,
Because like any
it's
Magic
totally,
set I'm in, like,
yeah, yeah. They
but
don't need to cater to you because
but
they
I
know.
right, but I will go harder into the set if it means that I can play with my wife.
Of course, of course. I think everyone out there will. And it's at that time frame where age has made that a realistic demographic. 20
Yes.
years ago, the people that played Magic weren't married. They're college
True.
or
Yeah.
younger, right? Like that. It wasn't a realistic demographic to try to chase. Now it is. It very much is. The kids as well, right? And they have kids. They're
Yeah.
married and have kids, right? So there's two
And
different
now they
side
have kids. Boom,
demographics
bro.
to people that have been playing forever. Yeah.
Yeah.
So pretty neat. There's some ridiculous cards. We don't need to go through all of them. The new demon, which I guess is the basis of the theme. I think it's a new archenemy type, like Eldrazi or
Mm-hmm.
Phyrexians or whatever.
Which one?
What's that?
Which one?
I think it's the Volgavoth Terror Eater is the
Okay, that's
like
the
the
one I was looking at.
foundation demon
Yeah.
of the house itself. And
Yeah.
there's something about interdimensionality and stuff someone was talking about, but I don't keep up with the lore, so I don't fully understand.
I believe it.
Um, but anyways, that demon looks crazy. It's an elder demon, 9/9, flying lifelink, ward, sacrifice 3 non-land
Mm-hmm.
permanents, which is crazy. And then when you sacrifice stuff, if a card you don't control is put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, exile it instead, and then you steal it,
Mm-hmm.
and you can pay life.
Mm-hmm.
Such a gross commander card.
Mm-hmm.
So that demon deck I was working on.
Here we go.
I think this guy's gonna go in it. I was building one of my black themes, which this may end up being it instead of the oppressive one, is the Shadowborn Apostle because it cheats. A deck can have any number of cards named Shadowborn Apostle in it. It's a
Oh.
1 cost 1/1, pay 1, sacrifice 6 of them, and search your library for a demon and put it on the battlefield. So you can cheat this on for 5 apostles or 6 apostles instead of 9 mana, which seems fine, especially if you have sack trigger things, right? That go off as
Mm-hmm.
as part of it, right? And you get all this bonus sack synergy and a giant demon that has lifelink and all this madness happening.
Mm-hmm.
Seems pretty fun to build a deck around. Originally, I was going to have the commander be Kirik, son of Yawgmoth, because he can do. He basically turns black into Phyrexian on any card, which is pretty sweet in commander because life is a resource. I have had a hard time balancing that though, because I tried this deck. I played it a little bit, and I killed myself. Too much. I don't know how to do Phyrexian well, Phyrexian mana well. So, but seems like it'll be a fun thing to chase demons and do stuff like that.
Yeah. Did you see the Valgavoss lair? Do you think that'll be a staple land in
I don't
Commander?
know. It's a weird one. Hexproof land? I
It's
don't.
a hexproof land, so but it enters tapped, but you can choose a color and it can be any color.
I mean, don't we already have that though? Like, don't we have tapped any color lands?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure we do. And that's more limited because you only choose one color, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's like it's a morph land that essentially is tapped instead of any color land, which is more useful in my opinion. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it will be useful in certain cases. It sounds like it would be good in limited
Yeah.
for color fixing and
That's true.
splashing and
That's
such.
true. That's true. One card that got my eye was Winter Misanthropic Guide.
Yeah.
The human warlock ward 2 at the beginning of your upkeep, each player draws 2 cards. As long as there are 4 more card types among cards in your graveyard, each opponent's maximum hand size is equal to 7 minus the number of those card types.
Yep. And it's in what color? It's like
It's
black and
1
green.
black, red, green.
There we go. Yeah. So that goes. Does that fit into Disa? Because I think if it does, that's definitely an add to my Goif Disa deck.
It has red too.
Yeah, I think she is red.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
And then
let's see. Yeah, she's black, red, green. Yep. Yeah.
the other one I really like is the Jolly Balloon Man.
That one's just creepy.
It
Very
is.
fun mechanic, but also creepy.
1 red, white, human clown, haste, 1 in tap, create a token that's a copy of another target creature you control, except it's a 1/1 red balloon creature in addition to its other colors and types, and it has flying and haste. Sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step. Activate only as a sorcery.
Why would Boros want a dodgy version of a 1/1 that allows it to do on hit effects? Like, I don't understand why this card. Like, who would want this card? It's terrible, right?
Yeah.
It's exactly made for Boros.
Yep.
Yeah, they definitely fill some gaps with this set. I will say.
I might build a Jolly Balloon Man deck.
I can see that. I can see that. That's right up your alley.
And then definitely include Razorkin Needlehead.
Yeah.
Has first strike during your turn. It's 2 red, and then whenever an opponent draws a card, it deals 1 damage to them. Pretty cool.
Yeah, that's the pinger deck tech. I like that alt art on that one too.
Can Kaito, Bane of Nightmares, be a commander?
I don't think so.
Because because it becomes a creature.
If it doesn't say can be a commander, then actually, because it's a creature and it's legendary, can it? I don't know. That's
It's
a
not
good question.
technically a legendary planeswalker when it's not a legendary creature when you cast it.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
cast
I do not
the
know.
legendary planeswalker. But either way, that card is bonkers.
It's out of control.
2 blue black, ninjutsu 1 blue black. During your turn, as long as Kaido has 1 or more loyalty counters on him, which he will when he comes in, he's a 3/4 creature and has hexproof. And then the +1 is you get an emblem with ninjas you control get +1/+1. And then Surveil 2, then draw a card for each opponent who lost life this turn for 0. And then -2, tap target creature and put 2 stuns on it.
Yeah, that's just a really useful card. It's crazy.
So, does it have loyalty counters on it when it's a creature?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, it's both.
It's both. Okay. It is both planeswalker and the creature has the planeswalker abilities.
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah, it's a nuts card because of all those things. Like, it's a creature and planeswalker. It's got a +1 to create an emblem, which is insane. That never happens. Now, it's not a super powerful emblem, but it will be useful if you're not ninjaing him in, right?
Yeah.
And on the other side of it, you can ninja a planeswalker.
Yes.
That's bonkers.
For one
It's
less
just
than its original
bonkers.
cost. Yeah.
What's that?
For one less than its original cost.
Yeah,
So can you
yeah.
create
This is bonkers.
multiple? Can you have multiple of the same emblem?
I don't know.
Because
I'm
then can you
assuming
just have
not.
because emblems are permanent.
Yeah, I'm assuming not. My assumption is that they don't stack. Like you can't just keep doing that. But this would be a heck of a lot more powerful if you could just keep pumping in. Like all
Emblems
ninjas
can
get
stack.
+1, +2, +3. Dude, they can?
Yep.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Then this is even more powerful.
Stack
This is
them if you
ridiculous.
can.
This
Emblems
card is
are fair
ridiculous.
game for multiples. There's nothing in the rules that stops you from collecting the same emblem more than once. So if you're playing a planeswalker that grants you an emblem and you can manage to activate that ability multiple times, you get that emblem each time.
That's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, there's some really cool cards in this set. And I feel like this is the set where they revisit old sets that didn't quite get there. So there's several things that help my Goif deck with Disa. So I'm excited about that because she'll finally actually be functional, I think, after this set. There's several things that help disguise. I noticed there's a bunch of cards that flip stuff up free, which is amazing for cheating in big creatures, which is something I was trying to get to work with. I don't even remember who my commander was for that, but that deck that I was trying to make. So I might go back and revisit that after this set. Obviously, there's some Boroslav we were just talking about, and then there's the terrible Simic cards, which I just don't like. I don't think they should do it, and it's a front commander too. Zamone Mystery Unraveler 2 and Simic.
Is that why
Landfall, whenever land you control enters, manifest dread. If this is the first time this ability, resolve this turn. Otherwise, you may turn a permanent you control face up. It's Simic. You're gonna do that every turn. And manifest is basically was it you take 2 cards, one goes in the library. I mean, one goes in the graveyard, one becomes a face down on your field. So you're basically just spinning through your deck, finding big stuff to put down as 2/2s, and then flipping it up for free using, landfall. Because Simic, it's landfall.
That's silly.
It is a silly, silly Simic card. It's gonna be bonkers.
Then the other,
and then they also did. No, sorry, go ahead.
Another black card that I really like, Come Back Wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Destroy 2 and a black. Destroy target creature. If a creature card is put into the graveyard this way, return it to the battlefield under your control. Sacrifice it at the beginning of your next end step.
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Graveyard thievery.
Especially if it has a on death.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite art from this set so far?
Not yet. There's definitely some really good full arts. I've seen several that impress me, like the needle guy, Needlehead.
Yeah.
That full art is awesome. I really like that. I don't really like the TV frame ones. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, not a fan of that
showcase. The balloon alt art, there's several that are that style where it's like that. I don't know what do you even call that style, that alt style they have there, the purple green blended mesh thing.
They do have a name for it.
Yeah, there's several of them, and some of them look really cool. So I would definitely do a commander in that style, if there's one that I like.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of really cool looking cards in this set. It's way more impressive than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
I thought they would tone it down after Bloomborough to keep the kids engaged. They did not.
No.
They went full hardcore. The guy that's smiling brain. You see that one?
Yep.
It's so creepy. There's so many creepy cards. It's so good. Oh, and I didn't understand what this was when I posted it. I am Duskmourn, ongoing scheme. At the beginning of your end step, you cast a spell from hand without paying mana cost. If you do, abandon the scheme.
Yep.
Well, I didn't realize what that was. That's for Archenemy. They're bringing it back for this set.
Yep.
I didn't know that. I just found that out. Like I was flicking through stuff and saw it this morning. I was like, oh, Archenemy, right?
Yep.
Which is fun. That's a fun format. We've played it several times. So new schemes seems good. And I think they changed the rules for it too, if I recall. Like they banned some old schemes or something and like changed the number you draw or something. I can't remember what it was, but they tweaked it a little bit, which is probably a good revisit if they're adding a bunch of new stuff to it.
Right.
So should be fun. And it's I think they made the rules so they're commander friendly now because I think it was 60 card before in
Okay.
the original version. So now they have a commander version, I think, if I recall correctly. So I like it because we played it as everyone's modified it for commander. They've been doing it for like a decade plus, and no one agrees on exactly how to do it because the life total thing.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like 6 different ways people say is the right way to do it, and everyone says when they did it this way it worked, or when they did it this way it was terrible. So because it's Magic, it's a high variance game,
Yeah.
so it's
Yeah.
hard to come to a conclusion. So it's good that they're revisiting and like really nailing down a format for it. So, but yeah, it should be fun. I'm looking forward to playing some of that with these new schemes.
Yeah. Wasn't there? I feel like there was a card. I'm trying to find it that negates ward.
You got me. I did. I vaguely remember seeing something like that.
Yeah. I was trying
But
to
I
remember
don't know what it
was.
was. Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah, there was some ward hate that came out. I don't know what that was in.
Yeah. And I feel like it was an enchantment too. But my favorite
Yeah,
art
I
card
don't know.
was Fear of Lost Teeth.
No, I don't like that one.
Because he's on like a dentist chair. And it's
Yeah, and it's like it's a jaw, it's a
Yeah.
mandible,
Yeah.
right? Like, and the
Yeah.
teeth are coming out, but it's also like a floating ghost monster. I don't like that one. They did a good job with it. I don't like it. I
Yeah.
don't like it at all. Oh, we have to talk about the freaking rooms. I don't
Oh, yeah.
fully understand how they work, but they're this new mechanic.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how they work?
No, give me your best guess.
All right, my best guess is you play it, I think, as an enchantment or whatever, and
It
it
is an
goes
enchantment.
down.
It looks like it's a enchantment type.
Yeah, and you play one side, but then you can play the other at sorcery speed. And there's something that makes me think that they can be instant speed or something. I don't know. There's a bunch of weird mechanics to it. I don't fully
You'd have
understand
to
it.
flash.
I don't know. There's something about because the fact that it calls out it has to be sorcery speed as part of the mechanic makes me think, well, isn't that how enchantments are normally played? Like, why does it need to call that out specifically? You know?
Maybe
So I don't
because.
know.
Oh, I think probably for other cards that let you play things at instant speed. Like as if
Oh,
it had
maybe.
flash.
Yeah. Either way, once it's down, you can play either side of it. When you play those sides, it counts as opening the doors. And then there's a bunch of cards that have impact on, like, if you have a room with all the doors unlocked. I think that's what it's called, unlock the door. It's the mechanic. So I don't know how you're going to track that, honestly. It seems like it's going to be a bit kludgy.
It could. Is it gonna be like dungeons in D&D?
Maybe. I don't. I feel like dungeons were actually easier to manage than these.
Because you're just progressing.
Yeah.
Or maybe you have a counter and you move it between the two rooms.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't. Well, it's not between the two rooms because you can have both of them open simultaneously.
Oh.
But it's like, what does that even mean? And can you play it multiple times? Is that the idea?
Open and close the door.
Yeah, like, do you get to does the enchantment go down, right? You pay for one side to put it out, or do you not? I don't know. I don't understand it. I don't understand how they work, but it's a new mechanic, and there's a bunch of stuff based on it. I do worry, I will say, that there are too many new mechanics in this set. When I was skimming through cards,
That is
there's a
always
bunch
the concern.
yeah, and it's like, please don't, was it Karloff Manor it, because I do worry a little bit that there's a bunch of new keywords. I was like, oh man,
Yeah.
they're doing it.
Yeah, and I think the problem. Okay, so here's another problem with play packs, right? Play packs increase the chance of showcase cards, right? Or showcase is always the same.
I don't know. You got me.
I'm trying to find an example here. Dang it. Because I wonder if the showcase cards abbreviate the help text. I know
I
full art does.
think so. Let's see. It
You,
looks like it. The TV ones don't have. Oh no, never mind. That particular card doesn't have it on either version.
yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah.
Just because, no, it looks like, no, it does. They do, because Delirium.
They do have the help text.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they do.
Simone All Questioning does too.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, just because I feel like the help text is required for these. Like, I get collector packs have fancy cards, they don't need the help text.
Yeah.
But
But
for
the play should.
whatever the player draft booster is, should have the play text for new mechanics.
All right.
You don't
Here's
need
an
it for
example.
previous ones, but
Yeah.
it's helpful. Like ninjutsu, people reminding.
So this is an alt art that doesn't have the help text on ninjutsu, so the purple green style.
Yeah.
Also, that's an awesome looking card. That is, I don't really like ninjutsu, so I probably won't make a ninja deck, but
I may.
Like I would use this card. This card looks fantastic. I love that art. Unfortunately, it's on a card I won't play, but hey, whatever.
Yeah, I like the Jolly Balloon one version of that.
Yeah. I don't like the clown. I just don't like the clown.
He's less
Why
clowny in that
clown
one.
type? Why is there a clown type?
I'm just gonna make a clown deck.
I don't like it. I actually would like a bigger art version of the original art where he's blowing up the face.
Yeah, that is
Balloon, because that's so cool. It's like such a creepy,
He's
like it's perfect, and it's the mechanic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
yeah, they did a good job. The set's looking pretty good, I have to say. One last thing on the set, and I don't know if this is a secret layer or not, but there's a bunch of like these full art, crazy art style cards. It's got to be a secret layer. Yeah, it's got to be. Or maybe it's in the bundles or something, the Nightmare bundle, because they're doing their little special bundle.
There's a couple of those. I think it's the Crypt Ghast, Exhume.
Yeah. Damn. Yeah. It's by the artist who did Goosebumps.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. I was like, oh, that's neat. That's like such a throwback to childhood.
Yeah.
So that's fun.
Yeah. And then I wonder if the poster-like cards are in the collector.
Probably. Yeah, it's either in the collector or they'll have a secret layer of it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like they very much feel like secret layer cards.
The way Scryfall has it set up, I'm guessing they are in the collector box, though.
Gotcha. They look so cool.
They do.
It's such a throwback. The Living Death sorcery one.
Yep.
I was like, it feels like it's a Goosebump book. Oh my god, Goosebumps.
Yeah. No, this is neat. I'm looking forward to drafting it. We'll definitely have to do a Winston.
Oh yeah, for sure. Cool set,
for sure.
I'm ready.
And it comes out officially right around my birthday.
Oh yeah.
So we'll see. But
you're trying to get me to draft it with you or something. I was like, I can't. I'm not in the country.
Yeah, because I was going to go do a pre-release. But now I may force people to draft Lord of the Rings with me that weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sad I'm missing that.
Yeah. Yeah. Or it'll probably just not happen. Because I have my big work conference.
Oh, God. Yeah, I forgot about that. That's all around the same time, isn't it?
2 weeks. Yeah. Because we have the wedding this weekend, got my anniversary next week, and then off to New Orleans. But
you're traveling for the conference this year? It's not just
Yep.
being on the management of the stuff. That's crazy.
Yep. I leave Tuesday, come back Sunday.
Oh boy,
It's
jeez.
yeah, it's a long trip.
That is a long trip. I do not like work trips that are that long.
Me neither. This is my first one.
Yeah. Good luck. Have fun.
Thank you.
Be safe.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it'll be fun.
one last thing for those who made it this far.
Mm-hmm.
You're weird if you made it this far, for one. Hashtag
Hashtag I made it this far.
weird and proud. I don't know, something.
No,
appreciate you.
You're not weird.
Love you guys. Okay, whatever, fine. I love you guys. Thank you for making it this far. But I did notice TCG Player updated their UI.
Oh.
It's great. It has market price volume sales. So the data is so much more useful now. It actually almost makes me want to go back to analyzing data from this, just because they have better like data visualization and stuff now. So it'd be way more interesting to go through and talk about. Because if you look at volume, you get a lot more info than just the price, right? Over time.
Yeah.
Now, the downside to it is, can you trust them? Because their data has been wrong so many times in the past. That I don't know that I really believe what they have here. I'm hoping they redid the engine that was doing that before, that was screwing it up. But yeah, it looks good. So they have a 3-month snapshot with low price, high price, average, sold, all that stuff. And then they, on the graph, they have volume per, I think it's a set of days. It's like every 3 days, I think, is the way it defaults.
Okay.
So, which is super useful because a price can go up on low volume or it can go up on high volume.
Oh,
and those
I see
mean
it now.
different things. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
3-month snapshot.
Yeah.
Average daily sold. Holy moly.
Yeah, right. Isn't it cool? Like it's like I said, it got me very excited. I was very tempted to be like, okay, I got to start up the data analysis series again because this is cool.
Well, speaking of data analysis, tomorrow is 30 days post-release of Bloomburrow, and I did pull this up and forgot about it. Comparing it to Outlaws.
Oh yeah.
So we're at, because it's 1 day. I don't think 1 day's gonna make that much of a difference.
That's fine.
But total boxes of sold of Bloomburrow is 27,656, whereas total boxes of Outlaws Thunder Junction was 14,269.
So
13,000 more, almost double.
And this includes. This is just the, what is this, the play boxes or what?
Play boxes and just collector boxes. Play boxes and collector boxes.
Okay. Now, OTJ did one of those crazy sales, but so did Bloomburrow. I don't know if they were the same sale. That part I don't remember what they did. I think the Bloomburrow one was like, was it better because OTJ included a bunch of stuff no one wanted or something? I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm not remembering either. It just the significant difference between the two.
Yeah,
just shows how much a theme can push a set, because there's obviously more valuable cards in Outlaws than there are in Bloomburrow.
100% agree. Yeah. Also, if you look at the chart, you can see it's all around the release time.
Yes.
Like it's all at one point instead of being a bell curve.
Correct.
Which means it's, again, not value in the box. It's about theme completely.
Yeah, it's wanting the box now.
Yeah, wanting the box, wanting to experience it, having fun with the cute little animals.
Yes.
I think we kind of knew this is where this would land, just because of the amount of hype and the different things they did. Because we were talking about it with release, the things that sold out. Remember, it sold out like all the different things way faster than everything else.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's not surprising. I think for me, it's a little surprising that the boxes have held up.
Yes.
Because the booster box is still like 140 or something, which is insane because it's. Oh, did it come down a little bit? Well, it's still ridiculous.
136. It might as well be 140.
Yeah, with tax and shipping and all that. Yeah. It's not, the EV is not there.
No.
Like this box is not financially worth that money in cards. But clearly people love the set, so they will pay it. because they don't care about the financial value. They're doing it to play,
Yes.
you know?
Yes.
Which is cool. Like, I like that. It's fine. Like, I enjoy that people enjoy, their hobby, right? Like, that's cool. But yeah, it's a wild one. I wonder if this is going to be a model going forward. Like, create a theme that seems like a home run theme, although it's hard to predict that in the future. Maybe they can do some like market testing beforehand or something.
Sure.
Put the low power cards in it, right? And then so you don't have to do power creep all the time, because it feels like Duskmourn is again a power creep. Now, granted, I've been wrong on that before, where it's like the first few releases are just the power cards, and then there's the rest suck, so it's not. But it does.
Bloomberg's power level also might be tied to it being the first new set of the new rotation.
That's fair, yeah, because those are the balancing acts, right? It's like power level creep.
They're going to be
can't
around
do too
the
much
longest of the block, not block.
That's fair.
Of this,
whatever it's called, yeah. That's fair.
standard
Yeah,
rotation.
that's got to be it. That's
Yeah.
got to be it.
So you're hesitant of having something too strong, but you have a bunch of synergistic things to build off of moving forward.
It's a good point. Yeah.
Because it's easy to slip in one lizard, one otter, one.
That changes the dynamic of everything.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So you have these like fundamental core cards that can build a deck for any colors in Bloomburrow, and then you just have cards that are even like that aren't. They may not be tribally the same, but they're an instant or sorcery that works well with that theme.
Yeah.
Or an
totally.
enchantment.
On synergy or whatever.
Yeah. So neat stuff.
Crazy. Yeah. Let me see. I want to look real quick. Those of you that are still listening.
For the end of podcast rambles.
Yeah, Bloomburrow play, but both Commander and Collectors are still out of distro. Just double checking the other ones if they're at.
Play will be back.
Play is there. Play is back. Collector is not, and neither is Commander. Now remember, Collector sold out twice, which is how many times the only amount of waves that OTJ had, which is why that's where the curiosity of it was. Like, are they maintaining that for these sets going forward or not?
Right.
Yeah, it looks like it's out on all of them. I don't see. Nope. One of the expensive distros, it's available. The collectors are still available, so it's not completely out. It's still out there in distro.
Cool.
But that does mean it's pretty low if it's only at the one.
Yeah.
Because I think that one has the highest fees or something, so it's like only worth buying from them if you're buying like a bazillion things.
Yeah.
Interesting stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, cool. Anything else before we call it a podcast?
Nope, that's all I got.
All right, then I'm calling it a podcast, and we will catch you guys next week.
Have a good one.
See ya.